Seemingly harmless signs such as itchy skin or an unusual breath odor could actually be your liver quietly crying out for help. In elderly individuals, the liver becomes extremely vulnerable to damage, yet very few people pay attention to the distress signals the body is sending out. Even more concerning, these symptoms are often not obvious, like intense pain or high fever. Instead, they tend to disguise themselves as extremely strange signs that can easily be mistaken for common ailments. Ignoring them could lead to severe liver failure and even life-threatening consequences. In today's video, I will reveal to you 7 unusual but extremely important symptoms that if you or your loved ones are experiencing, you need to stay alert immediately. I will explain each sign in detail, why it is related to liver damage, and how to recognize it as early as possible. Before we dive in, leave a comment below with a positive affirmation. Something like, "I always listen to the signals from my body," or any other personal commitment to caring for your health. And do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you will not miss out on valuable content like this. Let us create a community filled with positive energy to protect our health as we age. Before we get started, let us understand why the liver, the silent hero of our body, becomes more vulnerable as we grow older. Throughout a person's life, the liver silently endures an enormous amount of pressure, filtering out medications, food, alcohol, and countless environmental toxins. When we are young, the liver has a strong regenerative capacity. However, over time, this ability declines. Minor damages that could once easily heal now gradually accumulate, silently eroding liver health and leading to disease without us even realizing it. Not only that, common chronic conditions in the elderly, such as diabetes, high blood pressure, lipid metabolism, disorders along with prolonged use of medications and a sedentary lifestyle, all contribute to wearing down the liver's defenses faster than ever. That is why early detection of liver damage signs is absolutely critical. Do not wait until your body cries out loudly when saving it has already become much more difficult. So what are the silent signals that suggest serious liver damage? Let us uncover the 7 strange symptoms your liver might be using to quietly call for help right now. Symptom 1. Persistent itching without a clear cause. A sign from beneath the skin. According to medical research, the liver plays a crucial role in processing and eliminating bile acids, a byproduct of digestion. When the liver is functioning normally, bile acids are steadily excreted and cause no harm to the body. However, when liver function weakens, this process is disrupted. Instead of being removed, bile acids accumulate in the blood, directly stimulating nerve receptors located just beneath the skin's surface, leading to persistent chronic itching. A particularly important point to note is that itching caused by liver damage is unlike any typical itch you might experience. It is not related to allergies, insect bites, or noticeable red rashes on the skin. This itch comes from deep beneath the skin, is persistent and stubborn, and often does not respond well to surface treatments like moisturizers or topical creams. Even after applying lotion or scratching vigorously, the itch might temporarily subside, but quickly returns. This condition is especially easy to misinterpret in elderly individuals. As the skin naturally becomes drier and thinner over time, many older adults simply assume their itchiness is due to aging or changes in the weather. They often apply moisturizing lotions for temporary relief without considering the deeper cause, that their liver may be in serious trouble. Itching caused by liver damage also has some distinct characteristics. It tends to occur and worsen at night, a time when bile acid concentrations in the blood usually rise. Patients often experience intense itching in areas rich in sensory nerve receptors, such as the palms, soles of the feet, back, and chest. This persistent nighttime itch can severely disrupt sleep, cause restlessness, irritability, and seriously diminish quality of life. One crucial point to be especially aware of is that as liver damage progresses, the itching might be accompanied by other unusual signs such as unexplained fatigue, darker than normal urine, and subtle changes in skin and eye color. Symptom 2. Mental fog and abnormal short-term memory loss. Many people believe that forgetfulness, absent-mindedness, and mental fog in old age are simply normal parts of aging. In reality, while short-term memory can naturally decline over time, it is not always just a consequence of getting older. Sometimes this mental cloudiness and lack of focus are actually warning signs that the liver, a silent but extremely vital organ, is suffering from serious damage. The liver acts like a massive filtration plant for the body, responsible for metabolizing and removing toxins from the bloodstream. When the liver weakens, this capability sharply declines, allowing toxins, especially ammonia, to build up in the circulatory system. High levels of ammonia that are not properly processed can travel to the brain, affecting central nervous system function. This is the biological mechanism behind hepatic encephalopathy, a dangerous condition that often goes unnoticed in its early stages. Hepatic encephalopathy begins very subtly and is hard to detect. Patients may start with mild symptoms such as difficulty concentrating, impaired short-term memory, forgetting tasks they just completed, or even forgetting the contents of a conversation they are currently having. The most common feeling is that the mind becomes sluggish, fatigued, and weighed down as if a thin fog is obscuring every thought. Because the early symptoms are mild and vague, they are often mistaken for age-related cognitive decline or simple psychological stress. This confusion leads to many cases being diagnosed late, allowing the condition to progress rapidly. If not treated promptly, hepatic encephalopathy can cause severe confusion, disorientation, behavioral disturbances, and even progress to hepatic coma, a state that directly threatens life. An important sign that requires special attention is mood changes accompanying memory loss. The affected person might become easily irritable, angered without clear reason, or conversely emotionally detached and indifferent to things they once enjoyed. They may lose the initiative in daily activities, lose their previous joy and energy, and gradually withdraw from social life. When these personality changes happen together with signs of mental fog and forgetfulness, it is a serious warning that the liver is in trouble, and liver function should be checked immediately. Symptom 3. Slight yellowing of the skin and eyes. In elderly individuals, changes in skin and eye color due to liver dysfunction are often extremely subtle and almost imperceptible unless you observe very carefully. The skin might only look slightly dull, and the whites of the eyes might have a faint yellow tint that is easy to miss unless viewed under natural light. Many people simply assume their skin is not as rosy as before, or think it is just a normal sign of aging. But behind that seemingly harmless appearance lies a completely different story. When the liver is damaged, its ability to process bilirubin, a byproduct of red blood cell breakdown, is impaired. Instead of being metabolized and excreted, bilirubin accumulates in the blood and seeps into body tissues, causing jaundice of the skin and eyes. The danger is that in the early stages, the concentration of bilirubin in the blood may not yet be high enough to cause the obvious color changes people often expect. This is especially common among the elderly because their skin is naturally thinner and more prone to color changes due to weather, lighting, and blood vessel shifts underneath the surface. Moreover, the overall metabolism of the body slows down with age, making these small changes even more difficult to detect. You need to pay attention to subtle but important signs such as skin appearing pale and lifeless. Even when eating normally, the whites of the eyes losing their clear, bright look and taking on a faint yellow hue when viewed at an angle under natural light, and the skin around the fingernails and lips looking slightly dull. Some people might also notice feeling more fatigued than usual, experiencing unusual drowsiness, or having darker colored urine even while staying properly hydrated. All of these signs, especially when paired with even the slightest change in skin and eye color, must be taken seriously. Symptom 4. Mild abdominal swelling or a feeling of fullness in the upper right abdomen. Many people tend to ignore this change, thinking it is just a natural consequence of aging, decreased physical activity, or irregular eating habits. However, the truth is that behind that growing belly might be the liver quietly crying out for help, a cry that if left unheard could cost us our health or even our life. The liver acts as a massive blood filtration plant, handling the removal of toxins, metabolizing nutrients, and maintaining the body's internal balance. When the liver is healthy, all these processes happen quietly, without anyone noticing. But when the liver starts to weaken, small signs begin to appear. An abdominal swelling is one of the earliest and clearest warning signals. There are two main causes behind abnormal abdominal swelling in those with liver disease. First, liver enlargement. When liver cells are damaged due to inflammation, fibrosis, or fatty infiltration, the liver tries to compensate by enlarging. You might feel a sense of fullness, heaviness, or discomfort in the upper right abdomen, where the liver is tucked behind the ribs. Initially, this sensation might be very mild, like a dull ache when bending over or lying on your side. Over time, however, as the liver continues to enlarge, it compresses surrounding organs, causing persistent heaviness, especially after eating or changing positions. Second, the accumulation of acidic fluid in the abdominal cavity. When liver function declines, it produces less albumin, a crucial protein that helps retain water inside blood vessels. Without enough albumin, fluid leaks into the abdominal cavity, gradually leading to ascites. Your belly slowly becomes swollen, feeling soft yet tense, along with sensations of bloating and discomfort. As fluid builds up, it can even push against the diaphragm, making it difficult to breathe, especially when lying flat. You can check for this with a few simple observations. If your belly becomes noticeably larger, while your limbs remain thin, resulting in an unbalanced appearance. If tapping lightly on the abdominal wall produces a sloshing sound similar to water. If you find it hard to breathe when lying down and have to sleep propped up. If you feel full quickly after eating only a small amount. And if you gain weight mainly due to fluid retention rather than fat. Many elderly individuals mistake ascites for simple belly fat, leading to dangerous delays in seeking medical attention. By the time the belly is swollen, like a balloon, breathing becomes difficult, limbs swell, and the body is severely weakened. The liver has often already progressed to advanced fibrosis or decompensated liver failure, a situation with an extremely poor prognosis. Symptom 5. Personality changes and emotional instability. We often quickly blame these changes on old age, natural aging, or worse yet, ignore them entirely, thinking they are just typical emotional swings of the elderly. But in reality, sometimes these mood changes are not as simple as they seem. The liver, a silent yet crucial organ when damaged, affects not only the physical body, but also the mind. The liver plays an essential role in metabolizing various important hormones and removing neurotoxic substances. When liver function weakens, the body's internal balance is disrupted. Toxins accumulate in the blood and slowly invade the brain. It is from this process that subtle but very dangerous changes in mood and personality begin to appear. Older adults with liver dysfunction may become irritable, quick to anger over the smallest things. They may feel restless, anxious without a clear reason, or fall into states of depression, withdrawing from life and losing interest in daily activities. Gone are the soft morning laughs, the excitement of watching the sunrise, or the joy of tending a small garden, replaced by quiet withdrawal and sadness. At first glance, these changes are easy to confuse with psychiatric disorders of old age. However, there is one critical difference. This behavior stems from liver dysfunction rather than from primary brain degeneration. When the liver can no longer effectively eliminate ammonia, a harmful byproduct of protein metabolism, the ammonia levels in the blood rise, leading to neurological toxicity. This buildup of toxins alters how the brain processes emotions, behavior, and thinking. Thus, your loved one, the one you knew with a warm smile and gentle care, may suddenly seem like a stranger in their own familiar home. Symptom 6. Appearance of tiny red, spider-like blood vessels under the skin. Spider angiomas. They might look like tiny red dots spreading out into delicate thread-like blood vessels. You see them and think, oh, it is probably just a small bruise, nothing to worry about. And just like that, you forget about them. However, Those marks, those delicate spider webs, might actually be a quiet warning from a liver that is slowly weakening day by day. These small reddish blood vessels that resemble tiny spiders spreading their legs are medically known as spider angiomas. They usually appear on areas of thin skin, like the chest-neck face, and sometimes even the arms. Their defining characteristic is that if you press gently on the center of the red spot with your fingertip, the spider-like blood vessels will temporarily disappear and then reappear once you release the pressure. So why do these spider-like clusters show up when the liver is in trouble? The answer is simple, yet very alarming. When the liver weakens its ability to metabolize the hormone, estrogen is disrupted. Estrogen then accumulates in the bloodstream, stimulating abnormal dilation of the tiny capillaries under the skin, creating those spider-like blood clusters. This also explains why spider angiomas are more common in patients with chronic liver diseases, particularly cirrhosis. Sadly, because these little red spots do not hurt, do not itch, and do not immediately affect daily activities, many people easily overlook them. They might think it is just a bruise or a normal skin phenomenon due to aging. Only when spider angiomas begin to appear in greater numbers, scattered across the chest-neck face, and other areas accompanied by other symptoms, like fatigue, abdominal swelling, or mild yellowing of the skin, do people realize that the liver damage has already become severe. Symptom 7. Decreased endurance and slower recovery. After light physical activity. Feeling tired after physical activity is a natural response when the body expends energy. However, if simple everyday activities like walking a short distance, carrying a small bag, or merely standing for a few minutes leave your body utterly exhausted and breathless, then it is no longer just the normal fatigue of aging. It could be a signal that the liver, the vital filter of the body, is silently deteriorating. The liver plays a central role in maintaining life. It not only converts nutrients into energy, but also filters out toxins produced during metabolism. A healthy liver ensures that the body operates with agility, endurance, and the ability to recover quickly after any physical exertion. However, when the liver is damaged, two dangerous consequences directly impact your stamina. First, a weakened liver disrupts the production and storage of energy. Normally, the liver stores glycogen, the body's reserve form of energy ready to be used when needed. But when liver function declines, glycogen reserves are not properly maintained, meaning the body quickly falls into a fuel shortage state, even after light activity. You may feel sudden and unusual exhaustion, even though the effort you exerted does not seem enough to justify such fatigue. Second, a weakened liver allows toxins to accumulate in the bloodstream. Harmful substances, like ammonia, which are normally processed and eliminated by the liver, now float freely through the body, infiltrating every cell and blood vessel. These toxins affect the nervous system and muscular system, reducing muscle strength, causing heaviness, weakness, and a pervasive sense of fatigue. Additionally, these toxins slow down recovery. After any exertion, making even a short walk leave you drained for the entire day. The decline in stamina associated with liver problems does not happen suddenly, but rather progresses silently, little by little. At first, you might only feel slightly more tired than usual, but gradually tasks you once handled easily, like climbing a few stairs, shopping at the market, or tending a small garden, suddenly become daunting challenges. Many elderly people mistakenly believe this is just the natural rule of aging, but the truth is, with a healthy liver, the body can still maintain good endurance and remain agile even past the ages of 60, 70, or even 80 years old. The liver, the silent hero of the body, works tirelessly without ever asking for a word of gratitude. Because of that, we often forget about it until quiet, unusual signs begin to appear. A lingering itch, unexplained fatigue, a faint yellow hue in the eyes. Each of these small signals, if we learn to listen, could save our health before it is too late. Do not wait until your body is exhausted. Do not wait until your liver has to scream through severe complications. Loving your body starts with paying attention to the smallest signals and taking action starting today. early screening, early care, and living a fuller, healthier life in your golden years. Because good health is not just a gift to yourself, it is also a way to show love to your family and the people you cherish the most. Before we wrap up, leave a comment below as a positive commitment to yourself. For example, "I commit to loving and taking care of my health every day," or any affirmation that fills you with motivation. And do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss any more valuable content. Let us build a vibrant, positive community together, a place where each day is healthier, fuller, and happier. See you again in the next videos.